ശബ്ദതാരാപഥത്തിൽ ചർച്ച ആരംഭിക്കുന്നു.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It gives me immense pleasure and it's my extreme privilege to welcome Oscar winner Resul Pookutty onto the big stage. To put it simply,
Thank you.
to put it simply, he's the first Asian to win as an Oscar, an Indian who put sound mixing, I suppose, on the global stage. And of course, what I love about him, honestly, Resul, is the fact that you came from very, very humble beginnings and then you made it. In fact, the word I would use to describe him is that he's audaciously ambitious. You have marched to your tunes all the time, like irrespective of it. So would it be right to term you as very ambitious and therefore you are here?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ambitious. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ചൊരു ഗോൾ വെച്ചിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത ആളൊന്നുമല്ല. ജീവിതത്തിൽ അങ്ങനെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഇതൊന്നും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിൽ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് 92-ലാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു, സത്യജിത്ത് റേക്ക് ഓസ്കർ കൊടുത്തു, ലൈഫ് ടൈം അച്ചീവ്മെൻറ്റ് അവാർഡ്. അന്ന് ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിലെ ഏറ്റവും എന്താ പറയുക, ഏറ്റവും ദുഃഖിതനായ വ്യക്തി ഞാനായിരുന്നു. ബിക്കോസ് ഐ ഫെൽറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ഹി ടുക്ക് മൈ ചാൻസ്, യുനോ. So that was in the back of my mind. I wanted to be a physicist. I thought I will study physics. I will research in superconductivity. And I wanted to invent a superconductive element and win a Nobel Prize. Yesterday, Satyarthi was in the same flight.
He's right here. Today he has a session.
I felt he took my space. You know, Brindaji was also there. Brinda said, this flight there's one Oscar winner and a Nobel Prize. And I was just thinking, if I could exchange, right. You know.
No, but I think being an Oscar winner is way bigger as well. I'm sure Nobel Prize Satyarthi would say otherwise, but...
So what I meant to say is that I don't know. See, it's like is somebody being ambitious or somebody, like when we talk about somebody being very hardworking, I think it is all other people's perspective. അത് എൻ്റെ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് അല്ല. ഐ എം ഡൂയിങ് മൈ വർക്ക്. ഐ വർക്ക് അൺടിൽ ഐ എം സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈഡ്. ഐ കീപ്പ് ഓൺ ഗോയിങ് അറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്. ദാറ്റ് യു മൈറ്റ് ഇൻ്റർപ്രറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് ambitious, you might interpret it as hardworking. I don't know.
Brilliant. But I have to tell you have to tell me something about your roots in Kerala. The folklore has it, the music folklore has it, that you were one of the 8 children. You studied
10.
under... One of
Wrong.
the 10 children?
Yeah,
okay, Wikipedia isn't the most reliable of sources.
Everything that is written in the Wikipedia about me is wrong because I haven't gone and corrected it. I haven't found the time to do it. I am a 10th child of my parents.
Is it true that you studied under a kerosene lamp? Mm-hmm. Your dad is a ticket checker in a bus, mm-hmm. and you kind of made it on your own steam. And I tell you why that is so important, Resul, is that we live in an industry, an entertainment industry in India, and I suppose in the West is very nepotistic. It's very clannish. You have connections, you get a job.
I have my thoughts about nepotism. I'll come to that.
Yes.
The sound guys, can you just increase the monitor of the stage?
Spoken like a true sound expert. He is not happy with the sound.
Okay, we can't find them.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go and fix it? I'm kidding. But yeah, go for it. Yeah, so I was saying that you made it on your own steam. Not easy. Especially when you know that things, if you have connections, life gets much better in the cinema world.
See, let me quote a doctor from US who is one of the very prominent, I'm not taking his name. പുള്ളി പറഞ്ഞത്, ഇന്ത്യയിലെ you take anybody who has come up in life and who is like an extremely successful person that you pinpoint today, they all come from a very humble background. They have the fire in the belly, you know. So they want to prove. So I don't think my situation is anything different. ഞാൻ ജനിച്ചു വളർന്നത് വളരെ ഒരു സൗത്ത് കേരളയിലെ ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു ഗ്രാമത്തിലാണ്. ഞാൻ സെക്കൻഡ് പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രിക്ക് പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് എൻ്റെ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി വരുന്നത്. So naturally I studied under a kerosene lamp. But when I was studying under a kerosene lamp, I was thinking about Abraham Lincoln who studied under a street lamp.
Yes.
You know?
That's correct.
And every time in life you had a person or the other always inspiring you. Mahatma Ji was one person, Karl Marx was one person, Abraham Lincoln was another person. So Also, when you are reading, every phase of your life, you read books. And when you read, you want to be, somebody like that. And there was a point when I was reading a lot of detective novels, I wanted to be a detective.
I see.
And then I thought,
Which one? Which detective did you want to be? Tintin?
No. Then I found out there's no detective in India, Then I thought, okay, then what is the way to become a detective is to do IPS,
Right.
So I had like many plans. I wanted to be different people, different emotional strain I wanted to live. And it so happened that I landed up in cinema because every film is someone's lifetime. So I am pretty happy at it.
Amazing. And in several of his interviews, you have also said, I'm an ordinary person caught in very extraordinary circumstances. And I think it's also a line from your book, Sounding Off. So perhaps you could tell us more about it. Do you truly believe that you're ordinary? Because what we saw on that stage, let's say even the Oscars, your acceptance speech, where you thanked India and said, I dedicate it to my country, etc. That was an extraordinary feat to me. And you were not ordinary at that point in 2009.
See, I said what I felt deep within me. Okay, I mean, you guys are finding it extraordinary. That is not something that I have designed. What I said at the Oscars come from my understanding of sound and music.
Right.
If you analyze the Indian classical music എന്താണെന്ന് നമ്മൾ വളരെ ഡീപ്പായിട്ട് പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴും it is a true musician. If you look at the tradition of one of the earliest Indian classical music is Drupad, which is actually part of a temple tradition. And from there it evolved to music of today. So if you understand Drupad, you can catch hold of a Hindustani Drupad singer's throat. He will still sing because the sound is not coming from the throat. It is coming from Nabhi to Uchi. So Saptaswaras are emanated from Nabhi to Uchi. And Indian belief is that when your swaras are enunciated like that, you will rise and you see Brahma. So then you know what is the term primordial sound. So what I said there come from my understanding of it. I don't think that is anything extraordinary or anything. I didn't say anything.
No, we thought
Not normal.
No, winning an Oscar is definitely extraordinary as well. Resul, you have always said that in movies, especially Indian movies, they don't give enough budget to sound mixing. In fact, at one point he even said a superstar's red carpet that's laid from his trailer to the set had more budget than the one that was allocated to sound design. But with you in the picture now, and you command a lot of hefts, right? Has it increased? Let's be honest. And don't be modest here, be truthful.
Today, I am. There are producers who are willing to do things that I ask them to do because they believe that I am contributing to the value of the film. Also, see, in today's time, in social media's time, you are judged by how many followers you have. And I've been very bad at it, actually. I have not marketed myself and created a lot of followers. So, if an influencer, your words are taken seriously because they think that you get viewership. So, the scenario in the last 5 years has completely changed. But having said that, of course, I do, if you look at my filmography, I do all kinds of movies. I do big movies, which is sufficient enough to take me for a year, over a year. And I also do a lot of small films. I mentor a lot of people who comes to me. So I'm able to do all that. But I think that is what I see. I'm a product of public institutions. I studied in a government school, my LPS, my UPS, my high school, and my college studies, my LLB, my films, everything from public institutions. And I stand for that, Probably my success has been unutilized by the public institution of this country, I would say.
You feel underutilized?
Yeah, because they didn't have any better person. Because കേരളത്തിൽ ഞാനൊക്കെ സ്കൂളിൽ പഠിച്ചു വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് മീഡിയത്തിൽ പഠിക്കുക, ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് മീഡിയം സ്കൂളിൽ പോവുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രൈവറ്റ് സ്കൂളിൽ മാത്രം പഠിക്കുക, അതൊരു വലിയ ഫാഷനായിട്ട് മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്ന സമയമായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം ഞാനും കുട്ടിയായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഞാനും കൊതിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് പാൻറ്റും ഷൂസും ടൈയും ഒക്കെ ഇട്ടിട്ട് പിന്നെ സ്കൂളിൽ പോവുക, യുനോ. അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു ഫാസിനേഷനായിരുന്നു. ഇൻ ടുഡേ നൗ ഐ സീ ദ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് റിവേഴ്സ്. From 2010 and today, now people are going back to public schools.
They're going back to roots.
So, I also see time ആണല്ലോ. സമയം ഇങ്ങനെ ചാക്രികമായിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. So, yeah, so I said I stand for public institution and its values, and I come from that. So, all my upbringings are from that. So, I've been a very ordinary student actually. Yeah. And things that I fell in love, I could never pursue, I could never follow. And ഞാൻ ഓസ്കർ കിട്ടിയിട്ട് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഒരു കോളേജിൽ, കാലിക്കറ്റിലൊരു കോളേജ് വരുന്നത് ഫറൂഖ് കോളേജിലാണ്. But Farooq College did not give me an admission for MSc. You know, when I came here, when I applied, I traveled all the way from Kayangulam, came to Farooq College, applied. I didn't get admission. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു പക്ഷേ എനിക്ക് അന്ന് ഫറൂഖ് കോളേജ് MScക്ക് അഡ്മിഷൻ തന്നിരുന്നുവെങ്കിൽ I wouldn't have become what I become. I wouldn't be sitting here today. Maybe I would have become a scientist or somebody like that. So everything in life, I think, has a reason. You stumble upon something and you, in a certain course, decide that not by you, maybe, you know. And I always flown with time. I didn't plan anything. I didn't work towards anything. And നമ്മൾ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് പഠിച്ചിറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഉള്ളൊരു മാനസികാവസ്ഥ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, you don't want to be rich. You don't want to be famous. You just want to be an artist. You just want to do a simple life. You just want to lead. You just want to be working and making things that would stand the test of time. That has always been the mentality that we came out with. And things that happened is, I don't think it's our design.
Brilliant. I'm sure Farooq College really, really regrets not taking you in.
They shouldn't regret. They shouldn't regret because today I am what I am, maybe because they didn't give me an admission.
Brilliant.
See, you are made of what you have not got. It's not because of what you've got, something that you wanted. You're always made of things that you haven't got it.
Brilliant. No, I like your philosophy generally. I'm sure this kind of life philosophy and groundedness kind of helped you when you had facing the Oscars curse. Just to give you guys a lowdown, Oscars curse is you get the Oscar, like the biggest award perhaps, a celebration of your talents, and then the filmmaker or an artist sits without work because he's perhaps too good for the industry. And both Shekhar Kapoor, A.R. Rahman, and it was Resul Pookutty who said, yes, I think that I'm facing the Oscars curse.
No, not just us. Not just us. Lots of Ali Bari has said, so many people have said that after the Oscars. I mean, that's what happens. After the Oscars, people think that they are inaccessible or they are not easy to get or their fee is skyrocketing. Many things, you know. And it's actually the Academy member, so when some of the Academy members came to Bombay for a discussion. So they asked me, how are you doing? I said, I'm okay. I'm actually not doing very well. They said, oh, Oscar curse. I said, what is that? What is it? Then they explained to me what is it. So then I read upon things like that. So everybody has gone through that. Yeah. But it is great to have a curse like that.
No, and funnily enough, today he was just messaging me that he's so tired. You have come from a very extremely cold place of shooting, and he's got a lot of work. So clearly the curse is lifted. You are very busy as can be. You just landed. So it's a good time for you generally as an artist because work is what makes you thrive, right? An artist without work, I don't know what he or she is. Their identity is questioned.
I don't think that I sit without work because what is work? Work for me is not doing sound recording every day or sound designing every day. For me, my life is my work, you know. If I am not doing sound work, if I'm not working on a film, I'm writing, I'm reading, I'm interacting. There's a lot of people come to my studio just to meet, just to sit. I mean, my studio is flooded with people until 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. And I actually start my work post that. And it goes on, you know. So I have no fixed days, I have no fixed timing. I don't know what is vacation. My family often complains that, you know, take a break. I mean, I don't know. Why do I have to take a break? I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so I don't need breaks, you know. And right now, I am in a state of my career where I've sort of making a shifting my area of interest, my work. I just directed a movie, and it had a lot of critical acclaim, and there are a lot of offers coming in from me. I'm signed for a British film, so I'm doing a couple of Hindi films are in the process. One more Malayalam film is in the planning. So I'm suddenly flooded with a lot of work from internationally and from here. COVID actually slowed down my international work, but now it's sort of picking up. So there's another phase of my creative life is shaping up, which I'm very happy.
Oh, brilliant. And guys, if you haven't watched the movie Otta, you must. That was his directorial debut. It had Asif Ali, one of the really stirring films, Dark as well.
You saw the film?
Yes, yes, of course we have.
She is a very rare entity.
Am I the minority? But I'm sure after this, guys, go watch it. It's dark, it might be triggering, but it's still worth a watch. That's what I would say. And
it's-
no, but it was a very ambitious and a very brave attempt. He didn't do the normal song and dance. No, you actually kind of mixed art house and commercial.
Please, there are songs in the film. Don't denounce it. I think I had an album which is one of the best Malayalam album in the last 10 years. I did a lot of effort in making that. It was the first Malayalam movie had a Tamil song in it, and I brought in a lot of talent. A lot of talent from all across India has worked on a movie. I don't know why it didn't work in theater, like a theatrical run. I thought a film like that, if you label a film as a family film, നമ്മളൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഫാമിലി ഫിലിം എന്ന ലേബൽ കിട്ടിയാൽ പിന്നെ ഫിലിം കയറി പോകും. ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ ഫാമിലി ഫിലിം എന്ന ലേബൽ കിട്ടിയാൽ ഫിലിം കയറി പോകത്തില്ല.
Things have changed.
Yeah, today you have to catch the fascination of 14-year-old to 24-year-old. So I did some analytics after my film had a fate, whatever fate it is. Did some analytics with the Google. So this is what I come across. You have to catch the fascination of a 14-year-old. 14 to 24 is the impressionable age. And look at the kind of films that are making 200 crore, 300 crore, 400 crore. They were all trash. Complete trash. Those are, barring a few, I'm saying. But it's quite a striking difference of how the time is going and where it is going. It's all about eyeballs. It's not about how much of an artistic pursuit or storytelling or influencing that you do with your work of art. So all those concepts and all this paradigm has shifted to an unknown territory.
Right. It's so interesting that you say some of the movies that have done well off late are complete trash. I couldn't agree more. Sometimes he actually said it, your words, not mine.
She said it, I didn't say it.
I love it. I love it. Now this is going to be misquoted.
See, the thing is, today, the catchiest word is content. I don't think film is content. Film is our blood and sweat. It is no content. You can take a camera, your mobile camera, and shoot, I'm doing this, I'm here, I'm high, bye, hi. That is content. Or it's been presumed as content. I'm not saying that everybody who is in social media is doing that, or whatever they're doing is bad. Predominantly, I was made to interact with 20 influencers during the very first initial part of my promotion of OTA. And I met 20 girls. And each one of them, what is your particular trait, is quite trivial, So that has become a norm. Everything that can turn your eye has become content. And I don't think serious literature or serious work of cinema art, cinema is an amalgamation of many art, literature, theatre, music, painting, architecture, everything comes together in cinema. I don't think it's a very reductionist statement as calling it a content. I refuse to call my films content. And
What would you label it then?
I take serious objection to be, you don't call Picasso's work content, or you don't call Vallathol Narayana Menon's poetry as content. Like, where have you come from? What is the base? Where you begin? So it's a very difficult time, very trivial time. For it's also, see, there are two things. One, today's generation, they are born in the digital media. They are born in digital. We are digital immigrants. We acquired it and we are looking at it from outside. So we have seen both the world and they are within it. So you give a phone to a 2-year-old today, he will go and play something. He will find YouTube and play something that can catch his attention, you know. Because like Darwin said, you know, evolution is happening. Where is the evolution? It is not in your fingers and, you know, tomorrow your leg is going to be something else. It is here. You know, it's exploding. And I feel every generation is coming about 5% more brain power than the previous generation. It's happening every 10 years, you know. So, I mean, we have to tell them. So our teaching has to completely change. Our method of teaching, our way of teaching, making them understand. See, what is the role of a good teacher is to understand where the student is. You know, I don't think today's teachers have that wisdom. I mean, I'm not blaming them. There's a process. And today's students are sitting on a volcano of information. You know, on a tip of a button, click of a button, they have information of everything. The biggest challenge of today's teachers is to make them understand that information is not knowledge. You know, and when Kaladi Sri Shankaracharya University gave me the doctorate, my doctoral speech was about this. I don't know if people have understood it. You know, 15 years ago, I talked about this. See, our tradition, Indian tradition, talks about memory as knowledge. You know, we never had our Vedas written. It is always passed on from one generation to the other generation as oral text. You know, it was memorized, and the words were organized in a way that can be easy to remember, and it passed on from one generation to the other. So, knowledge, as per the Indian tradition, Bharatiya tradition, is memory. For me, memory is sound. Okay. Now, today's generation, where any device is constantly telling you that there is no need of memory. You know, you knew, like if I ask my contemporary or somebody who is my age, they knew 10 to 15 phone numbers by heart. Today they know maybe one or two.
You wouldn't know your own number by heart.
Exactly, and you have to remember so many numbers. You only have to remember numbers. It can be your ATM pin, it can be your phone pin, it can be your UPI pin. You know, it's all numbers, and you just get jumbled up. So our tradition is saying that memory is knowledge, and technology is telling you that there is no need of memory anymore. So they are living in this contradiction of understanding what it is that they need, you know. So today's teachers, I think, has a bigger challenge of understanding this and understanding the student where they're coming from, and making them realize and understand, make them understand that the information is not knowledge, you know.
Information is not power, always.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting time. It's a very, like, do you need to write today? I don't think you need to write.
We are at a literature festival, and trust me, there's plenty of people writing and reading as well. In fact, all those who turned up at 11 on a Sunday, 11 a.m.,
No,
a big round of applause to you.
Let me take you through what is. There was a writer's strike in Hollywood. It went on for quite long. The only reason is that, understanding the challenges of AI,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
So you have ChatGPT. You can give them like 10 lines, ChatGPT. It will give you a story.
That's correct.
It will give you, and I've been working on it. I mean, today I can make sound design using ChatGPT to that level. So I've been quite a machine tool is something that I'm learning now. I'm seriously studying. So there are AI. So ChatGPT will give you 10 options. You can keep asking. You can keep asking. It will give you as many options you want. Then there is another AI. So anybody who goes through that writing can immediately understand this is ChatGPT. Okay? Somebody who is familiar with it.
It's not written by a human. You just know it.
Yeah. So now you have another AI tool where you can make a chat GPT writing, make it more human.
Yes, yes, there
know?
are apps for it right now as well. It's actually a very dangerous world we live in. It's interesting you say AI and might take over our world. Very soon, maybe even writers, journalists, and music composers, sound mixers could all, our jobs could become redundant. It's one of the realities we're facing. So how do we tackle this kind of environment? Where there is a robot who can do it in few seconds, what would take a human at least days or hours to produce?
See, if you look at it from an efficiency point of view, it is the best tool. You know, it'll make us efficient. I don't know if is it going to take jobs away? I don't know. There'll be more jobs open in some other avenue. I don't think that. So people who are not willing to change or people who are constantly changing will only have time. I mean, this time is that it's a very difficult time to and very interesting time to live actually, not difficult. So if you are not willing to change, you will be left out. You know, and I don't think we should be scared of AI because what is inherent in us, what connects us is the humaneness within us. I don't think AI can take away the humaneness of our life. It can only make things efficient. You know, if you want to submit a journal on time, you can ask ChatGPT to do it.
Students don't listen to him, but yeah, it's a good tip.
Yeah. So that's all it's going to do.
Right.
You know, you are going to be defined by your life. If as long as we are willing to make something to do with our life and make our life stand the test of time, I think that no technology. Technology can only come in as a tool. For example, for example for idihasas, take Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all that. So today we look at Sanskrit as a frozen language, you know. But the expressions that come through that language is still alive, still a part of our life. So I don't. If you look at technology as a tool, so for me, language is a tool, see, for expression. The expressions will remain, whatever is the tool that you use. Today we're talking about AI, tomorrow it will be something else. So expressions are more important. What you're doing with it is more important. That's where the humaneness, aspect of humaneness comes in the question.
Right, brilliant. And I have to speak to you about humane connection. One of the connections that you have is with A.R. Rahman. Both of you are like brothers, I mean, in arms. Thick and thin, you guys have been together, found glory together. Kind of your career trajectories are also very similar, I feel. Kind of, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, is he your biggest friend, confidant, and collaborator?
Things that we have done together has found, a lot of acceptance here and abroad. That is one aspect. But we don't work together every day. There's this wrong impression. Everyone has that. Whenever they take my name, when did you come? So they think that I'm with Rahman. It's actually not. This year we are doing one film together, which is Aadu Jeevitham. It's going to come in April 10th. We work differently. But we have a journey, we have a path which crosses many times. I'm generally a kind of person, I see a lot of dreams. Quite often I see him in my dreams, and I speak to him about it. And apart from that, whenever I meet him and catch up with him, and I realize that we are doing similar things, in life. Whether it is about making films, writing, or understanding technology and doing different things. And whenever I see some good work of him, I call him up and talk to him about it. He does the same. I don't think I have given him enough time to say that. But
sure
after long time, we worked together in a Broadway musical, which is one of my biggest ambition to do a Broadway musical, which happened in Dubai. We did Y together. And now after that, we are doing this film together. Yeah.
Aadu Jeevitham is very interesting. It's one of the most anticipated movies of the year. We have Prithviraj, of course, who went all out. physically, emotionally, mentally. The man has seen it all. And I think he got an entire team as well who was as dedicated. Tell me something about RDG with them. And I love your posts about it. It looks very intriguing.
Which was what?
The Twitter post that you've said, there was some behind the scenes one you had put
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
So I want to warn you, you're going to get disappointed with RDG Vidam.
Why is that?
Completely. Because, I mean, I'm talking this in a literary festival. Every one of you must have read RDG Vidam as a book. And you have your own version of the film inside you. Blasi has made his own interpretation of RDG Vidam. That's a completely different film. So please, if you don't go and watch that movie with that openness, you will be disappointed with the film. Because you have your own idea. Because it's a very, such a emotional journey, that book, Najib's life. We have taken our own journey. And see, when I did a film like Blue, I tried and understand what is sea, you know, and 2/3 of the earth is sea, and how deep is it, and how do I show depth when somebody is like 100 meters down the water, 200 meters down the water. In Blue, the climax was happening under 400 meters under the water. So I went to Bahamas and jumped and recorded sounds. So, and whenever I looked at desert, I felt this is sea. Then I was doing a lot of research on desert, how deserts are formed. 1/3 of the land, 1/3 of the earth is land, and 1/3 of that land is desert. And how it is formed beyond, over a period of billion years. It's very fascinating how it is, how it changes its shapes, its color, and how it's become unpredictable. It is exactly like waters, desert. So I wanted to understand desert. So I went to Middle East and I spent a whole day and night sitting in the deepest deserts and recording and trying to understand what is it that you hear there. You don't hear anything, there is no sound in desert. Sound just happens to you. It is like that is life in the desert. That is what we portray. The second half of the film is complete journey of this escape journey and how things happens. So I have my own take on it. AR took his own take, which is a very spiritual journey. When you have, I used to go for a lot of expeditions. I have a friend, Satish PM, who is from Talacheri. When Bombay get noisy, during the summer, during the Ganapati time, or during the Deepavali, I can't bear it. So we used to go. So I went for mountaineering. So like that, one mountaineering session, we lost. I mean, we had nothing. We were like very imbecile people. We used to open Sahyadri's map, and we decided, okay, we'll climb that peak today. And we climbed, and it's almost that we died in the summer heat. And I saw my last moments when I was, if people are people who have seen films and all that, there's a film called Incident at All Creek. There's a short film, it's a very famous short film. It talks about moments before a person's death.
It flashes before your eyes.
I saw exactly same visuals. So when Najib goes through near-death experience like that, I see myself in it because we were dehydrated. We were almost died. When almost died, we were like, okay, now it's going. Life is going away. And we climbed the peak because Satish shouted from far that there is water. So we ran. And I still remember when he came to the plains and I ran across a burning field, ran across the fire to drink water. We drank and we jumped into I didn't even know swimming. I jumped into a pond. So I see Najib's life. I feel that I have experienced it. So I have my own take, which is very realistic, is very there. I want to put you in the desert. I want to put you in the heat. through the sound. Quite often, I sat and tried to decipher what is the sound of heat. You know, is it that something that make you perspire? Is it that something that make you uncomfortable? Is it that something that you take you through a journey? You know, so many of those things I try to analyze and try to kind of find the answer through sound and my work. Um, Prithvi has his own take. You know, there's a brilliant boy from Calicut who's acted as the
He has acted, the boy has acted from.
the boy is also part of this thing. There were two people, no?
Okay.
So so everybody had their own take. So I think we are all working in different tangent.
How did you all come together then?
We will come together now. I immediately after this I'm going to Chennai. I'm going to mix the film. But I'm saying it's if you take 4 or 5 or 6 important people who makes the film, the cameraman, the production designer, myself, Rahman, Blasi, actors, we all had our own interpretation of Adajividam, which is Benjamin has written. And you have your own interpretations. Now you have to be open about all the streams of thought. Then I think it will stand as a serious work of art. Because a film is a very subjective art, and literature is very free. Because when you're reading, you make your own world, you know. In cinema, that world needs to be concretized. What is not concretized in a cinema is the sound, because I still can make audiences make their own conclusion, you see,
Sound, just
which,
with sound.
with sound. So I think in the last decade, it's one of the serious work of art that is coming from Malayalam cinema, and I'm very, very proud. It's a very big film, a very big scale, and it has a lot of beauty in it. It questions a lot of, who are we? A lot of such things. It questions what is destiny, So it works in many, many planes for me, the film. I think I'm very proud. Malayalam cinema is at the peak of its expression right now. Entire Indian cinema plateau, and also in the international cinema today, Malayalam cinema is at its peak. It is quite like maybe if Malayalam cinema goes like like this for next 10 years, it'll take over Iranian cinema. I strongly feel that.
Iranian cinema, that's a tall feat. I agree with you actually. I'm such a fan of Malayalam cinema. I feel they keep it realistic as well. And even the sound, although it's a very invisible part of filmmaking, they say, right? Sound mixing. You hear it, therefore, it's still very interesting. Malayalam cinema was very good even then. With limited budget, they managed to do
yes, in the
so
80s.
well.
In the 80s, they were good. But 90s and 2000, until 2010, that 20 year, we saw comedy nonsense, Tattuvalappan cinema, Adi Idi, Adi Boli. The word Adi Boli thanne undallo. This word is not there in the Malayalam dictionary. Adi Boli came from cinema. For that word itself, there's some violence in it, It's all brought in by the popular kitsch of cinematic expression. So I think that is changing.
I see. I'm sure the crowd here, I see a mix range. They use the word adipoli quite a bit, I'm sure. But what I love about you is also that you have done everything, Resul. Before I open it up for the audiences to ask their own set of questions, you are kind of a multi-hyphenate. You have written books, you have directed a film, you have, sound mix for more than 100 projects. So are you going to be an actor next? Because something tells me that he wanted to be an actor before everything else. So if you could choose, what do you want to be? Are we going to see you as an actor soon?
I often have said I dedicate my Oscar to 2 people. One is to Amir Khan, because he was bodybuilding. I did Slumdog in the Gap when we were working together in Gajini. So he went to make bodybuilding, and then Malayalathil Balachandra Menon, because I wanted to be an actor. Malayalathil Balachandra Menon Shesham Kazhchiyil cinema. He was casting Baladaram. So I also applied. And every day I'll go and open this Malayalam Manorama. Across my house, there was a Balan Nayar's Kadayil. We never had the money to buy a newspaper. We would go there and open. And after many months, that I saw someone else was selected, and I was very, very sad. So one day I told Valendavan, because you have not selected me, that I have not become an actor, a sidey actor in Malayalam cinema.
You have several skeletons in his closet, from Farooq College to our main who did not choose you. I'm sure we'll soon see him in the big screens
Let me put it this way. सबके ऊपर शिकायत है मेरे को.
I like it. An angry man always is a successful man. You have a problem with the world, it kind of works. You'll make things work on your own. We have exactly 5 minutes. So those who have questions, go ahead, ask him. This is your chance to ask the Oscar-winning Resul Pookutty your questions. There you go.
റസൂല് ഹ്യൂമൻ
I'll stand and answer.
ഓക്കെ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ ഒരു 14 വയസ്സുള്ള കുട്ടികളുള്ള ആ ജനറേഷനാണ് ഇനി നിങ്ങൾ ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്, അല്ല അവരെയാണ് നിങ്ങൾ അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. അവർ ജനിച്ചത് ഡിജിറ്റൽ വേൾഡിലാണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ അവർ റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മ്യൂസിക്കോ സൗണ്ട് എഞ്ചിനീയറിങ്ങോ എനി ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് വർക്ക് ആ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ടിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നതായിരിക്കും. നമ്മളെ പോലെ പഴയ ആൾക്കാരായിരിക്കില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി വരാൻ പോകുന്ന കാലത്ത് എന്തൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞാലും AI യുഗത്തിൽ ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് വർക്ക് അവിടെ നിന്ന് വരുമ്പോൾ ഈ കുട്ടികൾ അതിനെയൊക്കെ നോക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല, അതിനെ മറികടന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഹ്യൂമൻ എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എത്രത്തോളം എഫർട്ട് എടുക്കേണ്ടി വരും? നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ AI തുടക്കത്തിലാണുള്ളത്.
അതെ, ഒരു ജനറേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 10 ഇയേഴ്സാണ് നമ്മൾ സങ്കല്പിക്കാം. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് സോങ് യു റിമെമ്പർ? ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓൾവേസ് ദ ഓൾഡ് വൺസ്, നത്തിങ് ടുഡേ. സോ when this 14-year-olds become 44-year-old, they will also remember what is old. I wondered, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ പഴയ പാട്ടുകൾ നമുക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടം? ഓക്കെ, ഇറ്റ് വാസ് റെക്കോർഡഡ് വിത്ത് 1 microphone in the olden times. So this is what I found. It is not about the recording quality, because today in the digital technology you can have extreme qualitative things done, but we still connect to ഒരു വയലാറിൻ്റെ പാട്ടോ യേശുദാസിൻ്റെ ഒരു പഴയ പാട്ടോ, we still connect to that. കാരണം it is recorded with 1 microphone. So there were 5 set of people. One is the orchestra, one is a singer, composer, and an arranger, and a sound recordist. They all had one chance, because they couldn't go for a retake. One chance they had. So all the 5 minds came together in that moment. It is the oneness that was recorded is what is translating in time. Even today, we relate to that not because of the poetry, not because of the qualitative aspect of the music, not because of the technological aspect of the music. I believe it is the oneness. Today's 14-year-old will also find that oneness maybe after 30 years down the line. For me, every work is relevant. Every work is relevant. Whatever you do, for me it is relevant. Because art is a conversation. You see, they are conversing at this time this way. They are choosing to be like this right now. We cannot be judgmental about it. We are mere humans on this planet. We cannot be judgmental to this planetary system. Time has everything imprinted in it. The Indian philosophy itself, the philosophy of Maya, says that everything has happened. You are just walking in time and seeing. That is what defines your life. Everything in your life has happened. You're just walking through it and seeing it. This is what it is now. So, in that respect, when I said, analytics said 14-year-old to 24-year-old, they are the one who's flocking for the first day, first show. That's what the analytics said. That was not a judgment about their artistry or their ability to understand art. So, if the older generation feels that they are not relevant now, we will understand. We will pass through a time where we will feel that they were relevant.
Right.
I don't know if I answered your question. Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, there's a person in the saffron shirt. Yes.
Hi. ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് നേരം കൊണ്ട് ആ ചോദ്യം ഒന്ന് ഫ്രെയിം ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുകയാണ്, പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോഴും അതെൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ ഐ വിൽ ട്രൈ.
Quite a Kafkian way of saying it.
യെസ്. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സിനിമ എടുക്കണമെന്നുള്ള ആഗ്രഹത്തിൻ്റെ പുറത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന ഒരു മനുഷ്യനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ചെറിയ വീഡിയോസ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്, എഡിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ സാറിപ്പോൾ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന വർക്കുകളിൽ എനിക്കിഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്ന പല സാധനങ്ങളും ഈ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് വ്യൂസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് എത്തിച്ചേരേണ്ട ആളുകളുടെ എണ്ണം വളരെ കുറയുന്നു. സാർ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു വഴിയിൽ നമ്മളത് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, അതായത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഷോട്ടിൻ്റെ ലെങ്ത് ഒരു 4 സെക്കൻഡ് 5 സെക്കൻഡിന് അപ്പുറത്തേക്ക് അത് കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാനുള്ള ക്ഷമ ഇന്നത്തെ ആളുകൾക്ക് തീരെയില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അത് എൻ്റെ ഒരു ആത്മസുഖത്തിന് മാത്രം ചെയ്യുന്ന വർക്കായി അവസാനിച്ചു പോകുന്ന പല സന്ദർഭങ്ങളും ജീവിതത്തിലുണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ തന്നെ ഇതിരുന്ന് കാണുന്നു, വേറെ ആരും ഇത് കാണുന്നില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ ഇന്നത്തെ ആൾക്കാരെ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഒരു ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻറ്റ് ഫിലിം മേക്കർക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും?
So basically, he wants me to answer what he should do.
Yes, of course, I'm looking for a guidance.
See, every filmmaker's, at least in my time, when I say my time, when I was a student, this is also my time. Every filmmaker thought he wanted an audience as intelligent as Godard and as wide as Hitchcock. This is every filmmaker's ambition. But that never happens. Godard himself said, I make a film for one scene. He said, I made Weekend for that one shot of travel. People stuck in the traffic jam. He said, that is it. That one scene came to me and I wrote a film around it. That's what it is. So, I have done terrible films. I can't even talk to my kids the kind of films that I have done. I mean, majority, if you take my filmography. I did it for one scene. I go, I watch, when I watch an edit. See, you do film for various reasons. Sometimes you are very financially stressed, maybe that. Or maybe a friend, who said, I have to do the film. Or maybe someone who is very passionate, but he is just starting off. You want to help him, you see the passion inside him, so you do. So every time you do a film, not because of the film interests you or this is the film that I want to do, but I will go and find one scene in that where I can do something with it, So as long as you find that one thing, See, very interesting, if you read Ghatak's Cinema and I, he says, what is universal? The more nationalistic you become, the more universal you become. You find a story from your house or from your immediate neighborhood, that is the more nationalistic thing, what is core within you. That becomes more universal, So for you, it would be, good to go and find out what is that deep within you that connects you.
Brilliant. Yes, and any more questions as well? Go for it, guys. This could be your chance to get tips from the expert himself.
Hi,
Don't be
sir.
shy.
Hi, sir. So I have a doubt about the Oscar awards. I think so far we have got like 3-4 Oscar awards for Indian music, and I'm not sure about I knew
My Oscar is not for music.
sound mixing. Yeah.
My for sound.
Yeah.
Sound and music is different. And music is my enemy in film. So let me take this. I'll explain it.
So my doubt is, recently we got Nata Nata, Oscar award for Nata Nata song. As an Indian, I'm proud that we got an award for Nata Nata song. But I also think we have a lot, other songs, which are more great songs. But the fact that Natu Natu got an international audience and people started making TikToks and all. So my doubt is, so for an Indian music or even sound, for an Indian art to get recognized internationally or get an Oscar, should it reach the Western audience? Or should people start making TikTok videos, then only we get Oscar awards? How does it work?
First of all, it's a wrong notion that because you guys made TikTok, it got to the attention of the Academy members. That's wrong. First of all, Oscar is not everything. It is just another film award given for American cinema. Films that are showcased in the United States. Okay? Triple R was a huge hit in abroad, like the way Slumdog was. And so it got qualified for the Academy. And of course, that year's competition, all that. So it's a huge process. It's not because of social media popularizing it. Academy members are serious people. They are not sitting and watching TikTok and understanding what is the trend and voting. It came because of a certain process of voting, and of course it has. Let's accept the fact that it has caught the imagination of people. Suddenly, especially after Slumdog, there's a huge appreciation of Indian art. Some of them say it's kitsch. There is something called kitsch in literature, and in other forms of art. Indian cinema has looked at that, and it's fascinating. Films that are like the other Asian film that has won the Oscars the year before that. It's also in the same mold. It's like Monsoon Wedding, for example. There are also other artists who are seriously working, Indian filmmakers like Deepa and other Indian, Shekhar Kapoor. There's a lot of people who are still working, independent filmmakers who are doing. So it is not that, the process of Academy is very, very stringent, and it follows a very, very qualitative, assessment. So it's not because of that, not because of it has caught the attention. It had its own flaws, and it has its own, positive things. But I only felt it became so popular, to my understanding, was also because of the choreography. That, nobody mentioned it. So I feel, deep inside, I feel choreography had a major role in taking Natu Natu to the Western audience.
Yeah, we have time for a couple more questions, 2 more maybe. So go for it.
നമസ്കാരം സാർ.
Karam.
ഒന്ന് ഒരു ഡിസഗ്രിമെൻ്റ് ആണ്. അതായത് 1990 മുതൽ 2010 വരെ മലയാള സിനിമ അടിപൊളി സിനിമകളായിരുന്നു. വയലൻസിന് കൂടുതൽ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്ത സിനിമകളായിരുന്നു.
ഇത് എൻ്റെ റീഡിംഗ് ആണ്. We can differentiate. അത് എൻ്റെ റീഡിംഗ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഇല്ല, മലയാളത്തിൽ ഇല്ലാത്ത സമയമാണ്.
ഒരുപാട് നല്ല സിനിമകൾ അതിൽ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒന്ന് വാനപ്രസ്ഥം, പിന്നെ പഴശ്ശിരാജ പോലെ സിനിമകളൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് നല്ല ലോകോത്തര സിനിമകൾ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാഴ്ചപ്പാടാണ് എനിക്കുള്ളത്.
അല്ല, അത് ഞാൻ ഈ ഒരു കമൻറ്റ് നടത്തുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന മെയിൻ സ്ട്രീം സിനിമയെ പറ്റിയിട്ടാണ്. വാനപ്രസ്ഥം മെയിൻ സ്ട്രീം സിനിമയല്ല. അന്നും അടൂർ സാർ ഫിലിം എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അരവിന്ദൻ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, മറ്റ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻറ്റ് ഫിലിം മേക്കേഴ്സ് സിനിമ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ ആ 2% സിനിമ മാറ്റി നിർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടാണ് ഡിസ്കഷൻ. മൈ ഡിസ്കഷൻ വാസ് അബൌട്ട് വാട്ട് ഈസ് പോപ്പുലർ കൾച്ചർ, വാട്ട് ഈസ് പോപ്പുലർ സിനിമ, വാട്ട് യു കോൾ പോപ്പുലർ സിനിമ. In today's understanding, popular cinema has the tone and tenor of popular cinema has changed. That is what I was referring to. No disagreement with you.
രണ്ടാമത്തേത് സാറിന് പേഴ്സണലായിട്ടൊരു ചോദ്യമാണ്. പിന്നെ ഈ സൗണ്ട് റെക്കോർഡിങ്ങിനൊക്കെ സാറിന് ഇൻസ്പയർ ചെയ്തതും അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ കിട്ടിയ ഗുരുക്കന്മാരായിരിക്കണമെന്നാണ് അറിയേണ്ടത്.
മലയാളത്തിൽ ഇന്ന് ഇപ്പം ജീവിച്ചിരിപ്പില്ല ദേവദാസ് സാറ് വളരെയധികം ഒരു ഡെഫിനിറ്റീവ് ഫോഴ്സാണ്. കൃഷ്ണനുണ്ണി സാർ ഇന്നുണ്ട്. അടൂരിൻ്റെയും അരവിന്ദൻ്റെയും ഒക്കെ ഒരുപാട് സിനിമകൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. ദേവദാസ് സാറിൻ്റെ വർക്കാണ് എന്നെ ആക്ച്വലി ഇതിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടെത്തിക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നീട് ഇൻ്റർനാഷണലി ദർ ഇസ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഡയറക്ടേഴ്സ് ഹൂസ് വർക്ക് you don't necessarily remember the sound man, but a lot of directors' work. Robert Bresson, Tarkovsky, for mainstream Hollywood, Ben Burt's work. So there are a lot of people, Kieslowski's films. If you ask me, I am very close to Kieslowski's films. The kind of film that I would make would be more kind of Kieslowski's films, very poetic. And Zanussi is one of the person because he taught me, met up with me. We have spent time together, and Zanussi was a very, very defining force as a filmmaker and as an artist, and his work been very, very defining force within me for getting me back into the track. നമ്മൾ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിലൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു 3 വർഷം നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു ദിവസം ഒരു 5 സിനിമ വെച്ച് കാണുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു 3 ആവറേജ് ഒരു 3 സിനിമ വെച്ച് ഒരു ദിവസം കാണുന്നു, 3 വർഷം 4 വർഷം നിങ്ങൾ ഇത്രയും സിനിമകൾ കാണുമ്പോൾ യു ലൂസ് ട്രാക്ക്. യു ഡോണ്ട് നോ വെയർ ടു പ്ലേസ് യു, ഹൗ ടു പ്ലേസ് മൈ സെൽഫ്. യുനോ എൻ്റെ തന്നെ ഒരു 2-3 കുട്ടികൾ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ്സ് തന്നെ തലയ്ക്ക് സ്ഥിരമില്ലാതായിപ്പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൾട്ട്. അത്രയും ഭയങ്കര ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിക് വർക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിലേക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ഫ്ലഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ what is your cinema to understand? It's very difficult. So Sanusi is one very defining factor in my life. And Sanusi has a very close connection with Kerala. That's also another factor maybe. So there's a lot of such master's work. Gatak in India. Barring 3 or 4 films of Ray, I was not a Ray school person. I was a Gatakian school. I still believe Gatak school of thought is more vibrant and more Jungian, you know, collective society and its aspects were discussed in Gatak's film. So, yeah, there's a lot of directors rather than sound I can name.
Thank you so much. With this, we come to the end of the session. It was brilliant to talk to Resul Pookutty. Here is hoping you turn all your adversities and rejections that you face, Resul, on their head. And perhaps we'll see you as an actor too, since you said the auditions didn't work out as planned. But thank you for marching to your own tunes, actually, and bringing Kerala to the global gap. Very, very proud, and it's reflected pride. Thank you, everyone.
Maybe next KLF, maybe I'll come out with my second book. It's about rejection.
Brilliant. I love it. Rejection is always a great challenge for everyone. Thank you, Resul.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.